from the Homestead race, and the reason for his disqualification came from an intent wreck incident between himself and Aaron May under caution. So Bill Hale's letting emotions get the better of him. He has since apologized. He's made up saying, hey, that's on me. The old man in me came out, and well, he's back out on the racetrack today after that disqualification. No suspension for the 35. Curious to see how he's going to rebound after he lost all of his points from last week.
Yeah, it's an easy thing to do, right? I mean, obviously, you got to have a better head on your shoulders, but to be honest, this sim puts an old man in all of us, to be honest. That sounds kind of terrible. But nonetheless, I'm telling you, the rage builds, especially at a place like this. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw somebody kind of pull a similar maneuver a little bit later tonight.
Well, the field going to work their way through turn numbers 1 and 2 for the second time this afternoon. Green flag set to come out, this time by off of 4 completely sold out grandstands, ready for the flat out 200 for the SRA IL Truck Series for the last Grand Coliseum. Justin Anisogak going to lead the way through turn numbers 3 and 4. We're happy as always that you are joining us for some more stellar Saturday night primetime racing action. The iRacing pace truck pulls down into pit road. Let's go, go, go from Tennessee!
And even coming down to turn number 1, Anisogak with a nose out in front as they come out of turn 2. Still going to be side by side for the race lead. Just Aaron Raymond fighting hard on the outside of 3 and 4, trying to get that nose out in front as we come to the line.
And good jump there from Raymond. Takes the lead away early in this one from Anisogak. He's going to continue to make tracks as he tries to run away with the race lead. Battle on just behind Gilmore, losing out to Brendan Gregg. And now side by side further back in the field as well. This is Corey Bowden and Aaron May going at it. Almost caught up between the two. Coming off in turn numbers 3 and 4. Raymond continues to lead the way at the end of lap number 1.
But no working the bottom side of the racetrack. It's going to be pretty decent through 1 and 2. You're going to be able to do a lot through that corner, but through 3 and 4, the bottom side not quite as good because it just shortens up on the exit of turn 4. Not as much rotation, or the corner is not as wide through there, so you can't quite rotate the truck as good as you want to through that corner. Keep up the momentum. Filing back down to 3 and 4 once again. Bodeno, though, still trying to make that bottom side work on the 429 to win.
A lot of separation already in this field, and well, as I say, now we got a big crash up in turn numbers 3 and 4. A couple of trucks going around. The 23 of McRoberts going to be looping on the front straightaway and deeper in the field. I believe that is Zachary Mertz. He's going to get rolling before he can go a lap down. Doesn't look like McRoberts will be so lucky. He'll lose a lap for caution flag number 1.
That's frustrating for McRoberts. Coming down the front straightaway, looked like he had that entire wreck missed, but the back end just stepping around on him as he's still trying to get that car under control. Luckily for him, it's early, and he didn't really get any damage off of that from what I could tell, so he should be all right. But the 96 at the top of the racetrack, just losing it all on his own. No contact, nobody really close whatsoever, obviously side by side, but a lot of room left, but finally getting clipped there. A couple of other cars getting involved. You see the 23 of McRoberts still sideways down the front straightaway after trying to avoid it initially. Kept it off the outside wall, spun it back down to the inside. Like we said, lost a lap, but I'd rather be a lap down early at Bristol with no damage than, a beat up front end and being on the lead lap. So I think he did a good job correcting that as well as he could. And I don't think the 96 got too much damage. Well, I say that. That might have been a pretty good hit to the tire.
Yeah. You never quite know with these trucks, right? I mean, it could really go either way. This is on board with Michael Dow and what he saw coming onto the front straightaway. Now, he had, I believe that to be the Toyota Care 54 just ahead of him. Cut down low for Newman. And a little quick correction to the inside. He's going to get that ball rolling. And this is what Tristan Newman saw in his rookie start.
Yeah, Newman coming down to 3 and 4. See the 96 just a couple cars in for, sorry, way up in front, already sideways. And the thing is, it's a track like Bristol, with the banking so high and the corners being 180 degrees, you just don't know whenever somebody's wrecking in front of you. You've really got to pay attention to that iRacing spotter if he's yelling wrecking in turn 4, wrecking in turn 2, wherever it might be, and hope that he's telling you the truth, because sometimes it's not completely accurate, but you just got to trust it. Get off the gas, get down to the bottom side of the racetrack, because typically the cars do wash up at first. Mostly everybody did a good job of getting out of the way for a guy that was, spinning in the middle of the pack there.
So current running order: Aaron Raymond, Justin Anisogak, Jim Duda, Brennan Gregg, and then you got Zane Bailey in the mix of the top 5 as well. Now, Raymond, I'm curious that he's opting for the inside line here on the restart, because he got a real good launch from the top side off that restart down Anisogak, and outside lane tends to be a real quick line around this place. So to see Raymond opting for the bottom side, it's an interesting choice this early on.
Well, you got to think that initial start, right? Everybody goes on green, so the race leader doesn't get to dictate when you go. And I agree, the outside line's still going to be good. It's all about staying on the outside of somebody by the time you get to 3 and 4, though, because that is the tighter corner. That's where you can get the run off and make the move done if you're on the outside. On the initial start, though, the outside through 1 and 2 isn't too much better than the inside, so I kind of like the inside pick from Raymond here since he gets full control of the restart.
Into the Geico restart zone. Green flag back in the air. Let's get back to racing action in Tennessee. Solid getaway from Raymond, and holy cow, that outside lane just did not go off the jump.
No, so I don't know if he was in the wrong gear, just on the tires, but he dropped from 2nd to 4th, did not even stay close to Aaron Raymond up in the lead, and Raymond quickly with a 4/10 of a second lead over Jim Duda as they come across the stripe, and immediately going up to the top side of the racetrack through 1 and 2 for the driver of the 6. Most of the field choosing the outside groove whenever they're single filed so far.
A great drive from most here in this one. Take a look at the battle for Thomas Lane Jr. and Jordan Jung further down the pack here. They're scrapping it down for the last spot inside the top 10. Jung with the outside, Lane down on the inside of the racetrack, and still neck and neck, but I think this is going to go the way of the discount tire 99.
Yeah, probably a safe bet. The 99 able to clear him coming down into turn number 1 and then picking the bottom side of the racetrack. I just won't be surprised too much tonight if we see a lot of guys using. Oh, there's one spinner coming out of turn number 2. Looks like he's going to be able to hang on to that thing. No yellow flag is going to come out. But the 16 with a big moment through turns 1 and 2. The back end just stipping around on Dylan Wilbers.
Yeah, that was, like you mentioned, Wilbers coming around through turn numbers 1 and 2, and this one happened already a little bit sideways coming off of 4, and then just back end came around on him. Completely
it's one of those things I've noticed into turn 1, for whatever reason, at this racetrack for the last year or 2, it just seems like if you carry too much speed into turn number 1 especially, instead of the front end getting tight and washing up the racetrack like you would at a typical 1.5 miles or even a flatter half-mile track, it just seems like for some reason coming down to 1, if you enter with too much speed, the back end's what's coming around first.
Back in the battle for the number 5 spot between Aaron May and Paul Witt. May looking down low, but Witt holding his ground up top as we rocket down the back straightaway now through turn numbers 3 and 4. May just can't get a door open on the inside line. I think he's going to have to work with Paul Witt here to try and see if they can't push their way up to Zane Bailey. But right now, Witt just doesn't have that short run pace.
No, Witt kind of just holding up the field from here, but you know, he did start a little bit further back. Looks like the 17 had a bit of a moment out of turn number 4, but going back to Paul Witt, I mean, he started what in the 10th place position. He's working himself up to 5th, but it does look like a couple of the guys right behind him just have a little bit more speed than him here in the early going. As we check a look on the 22 coming out of turn number 2, he got, I mean, completely sideways, nosing it into the inside wall. Somehow, no caution.
And then this was what happened to Swapford, sideways through 3 and 4. Good job to keep it safe, to miss the commitment cone. He should be able to get away with that without a penalty, I reckon. So the battle now on for the 5th spot between Witt and May. We've also got a fight developing for 2nd as well between Duda, Greg, and Bailey. But right now, they are already a 2nd off of Aaron Raymond.
Yeah, Aaron Raymond putting absolutely lightning quick lap times down time and time again. That last lap for him, 15.056. Duda, though, actually a little bit quicker right behind him in the 2nd place position, but to your point, he's already stretched it out to a 2nd lead at this point. Kind of giving himself a little bit of a buffer for whenever he finally catches lap traffic, which at his pace, with this many cars on the field, it won't be too long until he catches them. In fact, he's already on the same straightaway as them after this restart.
Mike Campbell, Mason Flippin going to exchange blows. Ear contact between the two of them. The 61 and the 71. Getting into it a little bit, but that Wolfpack race machine not trying to lose out. Sideways into the inside wall, big on the front straightaway.
Oh, it felt like the 71 came off the wall a little bit and gave him a hit check down to the inside of the racetrack. Oh, and now the 61 spinning it, coming out on the back straightaway. That's going to be a yellow flag.
Yep, just lost the tail end. Easy to do. I think kind of smoked the tires a bit with his slide. Looking like Dylan Grutzmacher may have had issues as well. Oh boy, there's been a few incidents here. That's Corey Kainzer against the outside wall.
And that's an engine expired too, right? I mean, that thing is smoking like crazy coming up towards the entry of turn number 3. Checking in on Dale Rappin, the number 52, side by side now with a 388. Coming out of turn number 4.
This is
with these guys leaving space until well, the 52 came off the wall and clobbered him. I imagine that's what the initial caution was for.
Yeah, probably this. And then what happened to yeah, because the caution comes out around here. What the heck happened to what happened to Painter?
Trying to get back to fire myself. Oh,
Ooh,
that'll do it.
Heavy lick into the inside wall. So 3 different incidents really to cause this. And credit to Painter, he did a great job, right? Just got up to the outside wall. So there you see 1 going to the inside wall. Here's 2, and then here's 3. So 3 separate crashes, all coming off of turn 4, and not one of them was related.
That's pretty standard Bristol on iRacing, I gotta be honest. Out of any track on the service, the one that you're gonna see multiple incidents at the exact same time is gonna be Bristol. I think that sometimes you see it at Martinsville, you'll see a couple different guys go spinning in the same set of corners, but man, Bristol with the high speed, low visibility of a racetrack like this, it just lends itself to having a couple different incidents at the same time. And you said they're not related. To be fair, I kind of feel like, you know, Rapp came off the top side of the racetrack and gave a hip check. I think that might have been because he was looking at the car that was spinning in front, right? The car of Painter, right? Painter had already hit the inside wall, and I think you could see the smoke in front whenever Rapp's coming off the corner. I think he was kind of reacting to seeing Painter come back up the track. Well, I say that, he's just loose, yeah. You're absolutely, he's just loose off the top side of the racetrack and came down and killed the 388.
It's how quickly things can go wrong, right? I mean, it just takes that one little mistake, and well, you're left with a world of hurt. Already, we're down to just 28 out of the 33 that started this race on the lead lap. Josh Berry, the lone truck, not to start racing action tonight.
We're coming back up to the green flag. Luckily, the cautions here at Bristol don't take too long of a time to get done. Already 30 laps into this thing, and we've had 2 cautions already. So I think that this thing's going to go by in a pretty breakneck pace. Under the sunlight the entire time today. Not going to have any nighttime racing, but we're about to get ready to go green again.
Green flag is up in the air. We are racing once again for the flat out 200. Trying to track our way through turn numbers 1 and 2. Further behind, looking at Jim Duda in a huge scramble right now. He's got Zane Bailey just behind him in 4th. Bailey back in 5th. They're going to single file it out quickly as we get down to turn number 1.
And I can tell you right now, we got some anger in the voice chat. Aaron Raymond ran Jim Duda up the track in turn 1 and 2, and Duda was not too happy. Raymond giving it back to him over the chat. These two still going at it over the voice chat. So if Duda gets back up to Raymond, I don't know if that number 6 of Raymond's going to be on the racetrack for too much longer. We know these two have history in the past. Yeah. Duda already angry in the first 30 laps.
I mean, history is putting it mildly, to be blunt.
You see, Raymond just runs him way up. There's no, don't get me wrong, there's no contact there, but there's no contact there because Duda let him run him up the racetrack, right? He very well could have just stayed in his line and given him the right rear, or given him the right rear treatment, I should say. And like you said, it's not huge, but on the restarts, you expect that bottom guy to hold the bottom side of the racetrack because it's going to get him around there the quickest. Raymond definitely kind of getting the elbows out here early.
I mean, counter, give him the room. Don't expect him to not take it, right?
I'm surprised Duda didn't stick his or keep his nose in there. To your point, all right, with their history that they have already, I would have expected him to just held his line and not let Raymond run him up the racetrack. But you know, he's probably thinking it's early. I don't want to completely destroy my racing. Contact coming out at 4, 3 wide, coming down to turn number 1, middle of the pack.
That is always a bold move. That was Bill Hale, Zachary Mertz in the 33, and we've got another caution.
This might have been just a little half spinner right in front of the race leader, Joshua Jernigan, coming out of turn number 4. Yeah, he got sideways coming through 3 and 4, right in front of your race leader, about a second or 2 in front of him, I should say, and the yellow flag ended up flying for him.
Good save. Locked it down well enough. So caution flying number 3 on the afternoon, and well, we expect this, right? We expect for us to get quite a few cautions over the course of the afternoon. Are we surprised?
No,
I wouldn't say
no,
so.
not early. And this track, I mean, it just lends itself to, you know, having the back end step out. I said this earlier on. Oh, it looks like our pole sitter coming down pit road, Anna Sogak, deciding to come down. A little surprising to see him come down this early. Might be trying to play some strategy game, let the entire field pit on a future caution, and he stays out. Not too sure. We'll just have to wait and see. But, you know, going back to the voice chat that I was hearing between Raymond and Duda, Raymond started talking about Duda jumping the restart, and that's why he ran him up the racetrack. I didn't see Duda
that.
jump the start, so I don't really know.
He
like,
did. He didn't pass before the line, and that's the rule.
Yeah,
you
said,
just can't pass before the line.
He said Duda rolled the restart, and look, I'm going to be honest. If you're in second place, you kind of have to have like a mile an hour or 2 miles an hour faster than the leader to stay somewhat side by side. I don't think there's any malice in that. There's nothing against that either in the rule book. You know, it's not like he passed him before the line. In fact, Duda was at his quarter panel, so I don't really understand the frustration too much in that, or why he would have ran him off the racetrack for that. But we all know Raymond doesn't come in here to make friends, right? So you can't be too surprised if he runs you up the track.
It's interesting because usually Raymond's kind of the one to be known as the guy that tries to find those little rule loopholes and exploit them, right? It's usually not the other way around.
Well, and it's a good loophole to exploit for the second place car, right? Especially if you're on a single screen monitor. If you're starting on the outside, exactly. If you're starting on the outside, everybody does it in real life NASCAR, right? You roll up and try to have a little bit more speed than the leader. As long as you're not passing anybody or jumping out of line, I don't see a problem in it.
And to be fair, if Raymond speeded up to match his speed, it's not on Duda.
No, I thought that the restart was clean and Raymond just washed him up the racetrack. Again, it wasn't like it was an excessive wash up the track either, so I'm not too upset with Raymond about going down to the one the way he did. You know, he's got every right to do it, but I don't know. I don't like the making enemies. He doesn't really seem to care about how many enemies he makes.
Green flag up in the air this time by 40 laps in the books, 160 to go for the flat out 200. Brennan Gregg gonna get the jump on the high side. Dead even as he worked to the back straight away. Oh, Duda collides with the 99. Down onto the apron. Watches a slide job in front of Aaron May. Then collides again with the outside truck. And Duda hemorrhaging spots.
Yeah, not the restart Duda wanted. And look, that was another bit of gamesmanship between Duda and Raymond. Raymond didn't go until after the green flag, right? That's why, fourth place just went hard into the outside wall in turn 4. Huge contact. And Jung is sliding all the way back after he has just destroyed that truck.
We're not done yet. We got another truck that's slowing up here. That's Thomas Lane Jr. now about to be caught in a bit of 3-wide grudge match in here. There you see the 54 entry. Kind of collected as well. That's Tristan Newman struggling to just keep out of the way until he can get down to pit road. That truck, I guarantee you, as a meatball flag, he can't get to pit road though. There's no one that's letting him in.
Yeah, you got 3 laps to serve that black flag though, so not too big of a deal, especially after the restart. Man, these guys still just sideways. He'll find a hole eventually, but this has been the most chaotic restart we've had. I think I just saw a spinner through 3 and 4 as well coming down towards pit road. It doesn't matter where we're looking, there's just somebody getting crazy loose or wrecking everywhere, and because of what has happened up towards the top 5 with a couple cars going hard in the outside wall, the top 3 have just completely pulled away from the rest of the field.
So this is the incident that happened with the 54 entry here as they come around through turn numbers 3 and 4 as, no, sorry, this would have been the lap after, so right there we saw the 99 absolutely crunch the outside wall. And he got loose. Jung got loose, and maybe a bit of help from Gilmore to finish him off. And wow, Aaron May with a lucky dodge to the inside.
Yeah, the 54 just didn't have anywhere to go coming out of turn number 4 either. He's just committed to the outside groove, and a car just comes right up in front of him. May gets a right rear here, too, coming back up on the track. Able to hang on to it. And finally, we got the yellow to come out. Can't quite tell who that is.
Anthony Lane, 82.
Oh, my goodness. This has been an argy-bargy first. Oh, and we got the 39 stuck up against the outside wall.
Holy cow.
Cody Witt pointed the wrong direction. Not typically what you want to see. But, again, the restart... Look, the restarts have been interesting with Raymond up at the front. They are, I was talking about in the last restart, he was upset with Jim Duda rolling the start as we see the... Yeah, Thomas Lane was just super slow on the outside of the racetrack. Or is that... Sorry, the 20... Is that the 23?
I feel like a lot of this is stemming back to that initial hit with Ford to the outside wall, and they were just never able to get sorted out.
Like we got half the field coming down pit road this time too, so we're starting to see some of the strategy coming into play at this point. A lot of guys
This is a lap
had some
early.
slides.
I want to know what happens here, why we were going so slowly. So Lane right there got loose. That's what caused him to eventually go around. And I think, oh, Lane just got loose as well. That checked him right up into Buwalda.
Doesn't matter where you look, there's just something going on. There's something crazy going on everywhere on this racetrack. Every single lap, it seems like nobody really given any room, even though it's in the early going. Everybody's just kind of fighting for every little space every little bit of space they can get. I mean, it's all take, no give at this point.
Sounds about on par with the Bristol race, right?
Well, yeah, that's a fair point, especially in the trucks, right? I feel like, you know, the Cup car, they've gotten so easy to drive to where, you know, the tires are just so thick nowadays in the Cup Series. They're so wide. You just got so much more grip. You come back down to the trucks, you know, you don't have too much less horsepower than the Cup cars these days. The tires are skinnier. I've just noticed, you know, ever since the truck update, you know, a few updates ago, the back ends of these things just come around a whole lot easier. And
here's another incident.
A lot of these wrecks aren't even just the back end coming around. It's just poor decisions, honestly. That was a car coming off the wall midway down the straightaway. I'm just confused. I'm confused.
That was about 2 or 3 laps before the yellow flag came out. You mentioned you had potentially seen a half spinner in turn 3. Well, that was that incident right there.
And we're getting the 1 to green, so I'm looking forward to seeing how much more we've got. It looks like everybody in the top 8 stayed out. I think 9th on back came down pit road to put on tires. So Zane Bailey, Jim Duda going to be the first guys on tires coming through. And like I said, be careful of Duda coming up through the field on new tires. If he catches Raymond might be sent for a ride, because I was been trying to say it about the last restart, but Raymond wasn't happy on the restart prior from Duda rolling him on the top. Well, Duda was in 3rd trying to roll up to his bumper again to get a good start, so Raymond just didn't go until after the restart zone. So there's a lot of gamesmanship being played here on the restarts.
Green flag up in the air once again. Brandon Gregg kind of grinds along the wall there, coming down to turn number 1. Might have been spinning up the wheels a little bit, trying to find some stability in his truck. Bill Hales is tumbling down the field. The top 4 did not come down pit road. Right now, the furthest driver on fresh tires is Jim Duda. He's running back in 8th.
Well, you mentioned the fresh tires. Anna Sogak came down the caution before that, and he's up to the 4th place position running the inside line. So Anna Sogak's going to get up here towards the race leaders and give him a challenge soon, because he does have newer tires than the few guys in front of him, right? And he's rolling that bottom as good as anybody in the field. Oh, big wreck in turn number 4. Multiple drivers around, stuck up on the top side of the racetrack. The 96 comes back down and collects 2 more.
And one of those is Jernigan, already collected in a couple of... Oh, sorry, no, that is not Jernigan. Who is that down there? That is, it's not Thomas Lane. The 32, Corey Painter, that got involved. And that all started with Zachary Mertz.
A little bit of a messy beginning to this one, but we are over a 4th of the way through, so we're starting to kind of make some headway, but we're just starting to get some things kind of catching up the momentum here. Watching the 96 on the outside of Zane Bailey. These guys have taken tires. I believe the 96 had come down as well, but it's just loose on the top side of the racetrack. This is the exact same accident we saw from him earlier.
Hard hit into the wall for Mertz. Then he comes back down. He should have just held the brakes. I mean, honestly,
yeah,
he was fine where he was.
Stopped.
He made that a lot worse than it needed to be.
Yeah, he turned the wheels and stopped holding the brakes there, kind of collected a couple more drivers. So yeah, he needed to lock that one down a little bit better. But like I said, this is the second time that he's made the exact same mistake on the outside of 3 and 4, just driving in too deep and losing the back end as soon as he kind of gets off the throttle.
He just drifts down, collects Corey Painter. And admittedly, Painter wasn't doing himself any favors either, and Joshua Jernigan did a great job to get around that.
This is why you want to be at the front of the pack at Bristol. Anytime you come down pit road, take the tires, you kind of risk this, I don't know, you put yourself into a really poor position being in the middle of the pack. You know, guys like Zane Bailey, obviously he got through there, but, you know, they came down, take tires, and all of a sudden you got a spinner right in front of you. fighting for just inside the top 10 rather than being in the top 5 like they had been all night. And all of a sudden, you got to start dodging wrecks. And a lot of these guys have just come down taking tires and just didn't have anywhere to go after the 96 went spinning.
Yeah, same mistake, right? Just lost it and nowhere for McRoberts to go. Big shame for him, right? Even having a relatively good race, and then Painter just innocent bystander. Now we'll double them up
the field's
again.
doubled up. Yeah, they're doubled up again, coming down the back straightaway. Raymond still up in the lead, Greg in second, but you got to look at Anasogak. He's got the newest tires out of anybody in the top 7. Top 6. Duda's going to be the newest tires in the 7th place position. So watch Anasogak, watch Duda here on the inside line, the 13 and the 053.
Green flag back in the air as we take it down to the turn number 1. Raymond still out in front. Meanwhile, Jim Duda. Oh, we're going to have problems back here. Already got cars going around into the wall. Aaron Mann to the outside wall. The 39 to Cody Went to the outside wall. Painter's just bodied the outside wall again, coming around to the 3 and 4.
Nobody got completely sideways, just hitting the outside fence and keeping the car rolling, so no yellow flag's going to come out. But Anasogak getting himself clear into second place with the newer tires. He is cutting into that lead of Aaron Raymond up at the front, running the bottom side of 1 and 2. And the yellow flag's going to come out. I believe that was for a car stopped on the apron of turn 2.
And was that wet? It was wet.
He was well off the racetrack, so I'm surprised the caution came out for him. But he was stopped sideways down there, so... a real-life caution, yes. An iRacing caution, I'm kind of surprised.
Trying to get down to pit road here. He's very slow. Now this is black right. So he does have a broken wheel. I think it's the right front that's busted here. Oh boy, that's embarrassing. I wonder if they called that a caution because he was situated right at the pit road entry.
That's probably a fair bet, right? Maybe that just kind of adds on to where the racetrack is, or they register that as part of the racetrack because you're going to be coming down pit road right there. Probably a good guess, but man, it was just big mayhem on the restart coming down the back straightaway, right? We saw him and another car just completely pound the outside wall, and it just never really settled from there.
Well, they didn't really get going on the restart either. They kind of forced these guys 3 wide. Right here, they go 3 again, and you see Paint get into the wall, Witt get into the wall, all 3 of them got into the wall, and well, that was just it.
Yeah, Witt kind of forced Painter into the wall, right? Painter's just riding the top side of the racetrack. Witt ran him up to the fence rather than lifting. And, well, like I said earlier, it's all take, no give here in the early going. I mean, I've not seen anybody cut anybody else a break at all so far tonight. I don't, typically cooler heads prevail, but I imagine if there's no cool heads in the entire race, then nobody prevails. And that's kind of what we're seeing so far.
Typical short track racing and iRacing, right? And now here's the big question. Rockingham Speedway is next week. Are we going to see more of the same?
Oh, I don't know. Rockingham, it's not a lot wider, but it is a little wider. The front straightaway, you got plenty of room. Coming out of turn 4 is probably going to be okay, but it's going to be coming out of turn 2. Coming out of 2 at Rockingham, it tightens up like crazy. If you got a side-by-side battle going on in that area, you're going to be seeing some issues. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some issues out of 2 next week, but I don't think it'll be as prevalent as what we've seen tonight.
It's one of those races that could go either way, right? You could get a lot of cautions. It could go near caution-free. You don't know.
You can spread out more there. That's the good thing. There's plenty of more room to spread out at a place like Rockingham. If you can get 10 laps green, you're probably going to go 40.
Green flag coming around through turn numbers 3 and 4. This time by, we work to the end of yellow flag at number 6. Green flag's in the air. We're back to racing. Oh, outside doesn't go again. Big stack up, but we're able to get through it.
Anasogak on the outside with the newer tires. Just about got to the right rear of Raymond. Not quite able to get there, though. All over the back bumper towards the outside. Brennan Gregg not going easily down there on the bottom either, but he's just going to have to sort into third. Now Anasogak to the bottom side with the fresher tires. Can he give a challenge to Aaron Raymond for the lead?
He's sure gonna try for it, ripping it down the turn numbers 3 and 4 to the front straightaway. Does Anasogak have something for him through turn number 1? Raymond continues to hold on. A phenomenal job of fighting it out here for the race lead. Raymond knows how to go on defense here, and he's not gonna let Anasogak take this spot easily.
Anasogak's got the fresher tire, so you would think that it would be a relatively easy pass, but there's been so many heat cycles in these things. We got one car slow on the front straightaway. We've had so many heat cycles with the different cautions that it does nullify some of the advantage that Anasogak has with the fresher tires, and he's just not quite able to get side by side, at least not enough to make any serious type of a move. To the bottom in 1 and 2 again, trying to hang on to that left rear quarter panel this time down the back, but not able to do it.
Anasogak tracks down low. Aaron Raymond still up on top. High-speed dogfighting here as we track down to the turn numbers 1 and 2. Now to the back straightaway. Anasogak sends her into 3 and 4. Not letting Raymond pinch him in this time in the 4th corner.
Anasogak still down on the bottom side of the racetrack. The problem for him, he's not getting any momentum coming out of the corner. He's got, he doesn't have any headway going down to the next corner. He's going backwards compared to Raymond. He's able to dive it in deep into 3, but just not able to get clear.
One driver that will get clear, though, is Aaron Raymond. As he pulls clear off of these corners, he's just able to get such a better drive down the straights that Anasogak's not really able to do anything with it.
What Anasogak really needs to do is try to get a better run through 3 and 4 and then peek down to the inside while he has forward momentum coming down into the turn 1, right? He's got to stay right in the tire tracks, maybe just a little bit lower than Raymond through 3 and 4, but he just keeps going all the way down to the bottom side, getting side by side through the corner that, you get pinched off more on, right? Through the exit of turn 4, it's where this racetrack shortens up the absolute most. You cannot get the drive off the bottom side. Anasogak's just got to do a better job of, picking where to make the moves. I don't think he's making them at the right portion of the racetrack.
He's going to keep trying, though, and I mean, hey, perseverance, right? Oh, trouble front straightaway. Dale Rapp going around. Holiday into the wall. Bayhard into the wall. Huge hit from Bill Hales. And, boy, we're still flying in here seconds after the caution came out.
Who was the purple car that just came flying in on the inside?
It was wet.
What in the world? I mean, he just came in there like a heat-seeking missile. There's 2 cars stopped on the bottom side of the racetrack, and he drove straight into him.
Off 4. Holiday looks low. 2 lines come together. Rapp was trying to diamond the corner. Holiday was trying to track out to maintain the speed. They come together. They go around. Holiday's going to find the inside wall. Huge hit there for Bill Hales. Aaron May comes screaming in. He's going to go head on into the 9. And then, boy, you weren't kidding about whip.
There to start off that incident, it's not quite a loose condition like we saw the last time the Rapp came off the wall, but it's kind of similar. They're side by side coming through 3 and 4, and Rapp came down the racetrack and he said Holiday wasn't going to be there coming out of the corner. I mean, don't get me wrong, Holiday's tracking up towards the wall, but you kind of have to do that. We're racing an oval, you track up towards the wall. Rapp just kind of came down.
Heavy lick there, and you did see as well, a bit behind, that led into the story as well. Aaron May did get loose coming off of turn 4, and that's why we saw him go and just body slam the inside wall. Oh, well, that's a huge hit as well that Bill Hales took. That cannot be understated about how massive of an impact that was.
Surprisingly, the numbers haven't dwindled too much with how many accidents we've seen. I mean, still 22 cars out there on the lead lap, and a lot of cars that are a couple laps down, they're still running. So a lot of the field's still in there. That's a huge hit right to the right front tire of Dale Rapp. That's going to be some pretty massive damage that he's going to have to get fixed. I feel like ever since the damage update for the NASCAR vehicles, you can get away with a lot of fender contact, a lot of door contact. These bodies are pretty damn stiff. They're pretty easy to work with.
He was loose as well. Oh boy. Probably should have done
pedal would have came in handy though.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably should have. I'm not gonna. He did get loose like Aaron May. I will say that much, but yeah, there was more that probably could have been done there.
I mean, whenever you look at it from that angle, it almost looks like Holiday comes up more than Rapp comes down. Again, Holiday's got to come up to get a decent run off the corner. I don't know. That was a little bit more of a tough one to call between the two. A different angle shows Rapp coming down the racetrack pretty extensively. That angle kind of showed Holiday coming up, maybe more than he should, or at least quicker than he should, and yeah, just a bunch of smoke, not able to see his way through. I don't know, bit of a weird one. Aaron Raymond, though, came down pit road that time. Now he's stuck in middle of the pack.
Green flag coming out this time by still 19 laps shy of halfway into the Geico restart zone. Green flag back up in the air. We're back to it.
Side by side through the restart zone. Look at that restart from Rapp on the outside, able to hang with Anna Sogak, but as soon as they get down to 1 and 2, just loses all the drive that he had. Wasn't able to stay side by side. He's going to dive back down to the bottom, though, try to find some clean air. Not able to get side by side as we come off the 4.
He's probably trying to fend off Jim Duda, who's got about 13 lap fresher tires than him. Meanwhile, back here, this is a hornet's nest of trucks that are right now side by side for the midfield.
Yeah, and Raymond stuck back here for the first time tonight as he just came in down pit road, got the tire. So he'll be much quicker than these guys, but he's got to avoid the mayhem that we've seen all night long, right? If we see an accident right in front of him, there's just not going to be much that he can do about it. So Raymond's got to find some clean air as quick as possible.
A lot of trucks that were collected that instant are in the mix of this as well, like Holiday, Highboss, Swafford, and more. Further up the road, Mike Campbell and Mike Allen are going at it. Aaron Raymond is still in the fray. He is cutting his way through this field early on. Raymond already back up now to 7th. Or at least he was. Now he's up to 7th.
Yeah, he came back into side-by-side battle, now into 1 and 2. Just completely disappeared off of the racetrack there for a moment, but Raymond continuing to make headway with the newest tires in the field.
And then down the field, the Wolfpack Racing driver, Mason Flippin, side-by-side as well with Noah Swafford up on top. Both of these trucks have gotten put through the ringer so far this afternoon, but they're still here. They're still fighting for these spots, and critically, still on the lead lap as well, so this could still go either way. John Bolton Jr. in the mix.
Coming out turn number 4, we've just seen some issues right in front of Aaron Raymond. Couldn't quite tell what happened, but a couple cars almost hit the pit wall coming down the front straightaway. Raymond able to get by both of them, but it looked like it was the 29 of Michael Allen that almost destroyed the inside pit barrels off of 4.
Wild scenes, it would seem, and Mike Allen is going to be into pit road this time by. So Allen comes down, and this here is the battle for 9th on back, headed up by Jeff Gilmore.
Yeah, Gilmore leading the charge out of these guys in the 57, working out of turn number 2, side by side. Right behind him, he's got Hales and Dow trying to work each other over. It looks like Hales got the better run out of 4, but he's going to get a little loose coming out of the corner. He's going to be completely clear as that 50 is starting to go backwards. Dow not liking the handling of that truck. It looks like one car caught the fence in front of him too.
I mean, at this point, who isn't catching the fence somewhere on the racetrack, right? I mean, you got to kind of rebound off the wall a little bit if you want to have some good speed going to this place. The trick is finding the way to kind of tag the wall to get a bit of extra speed versus, well, doing this, going around.
Right in front of the race leaders, and it was right whenever Aaron Raymond was starting to catch Jim Duda for the 2nd place position, which I would think would probably be a pretty bad thing. I think that once these two get together under green flag conditions, it's going to be a little bit of added mayhem. They're going to be starting 2nd and 3rd on this restart, more than likely, as we would look at Anthony Lane here in the 82. Coming off of 4, just losing the back end.
And he's going to go hard into the inside wall. Goes for a spin and then backs it up in turn 1 to get it off the racetrack, but the caution was already out. So several trucks are coming down to pit road. We'll take ourselves with a quick step back. When we return, it'll be Green Flag Racing once again at Bristol Motor Speedway, and we will go side by side on Green Flag TV. Welcome back to Green Flag TV. iRacing Pace Trucks. Lights have just gone out, and we're getting set to return back to Green Flag Racing. You're just tuning in. Welcome to the Flat Out 200 for the SRA IEL Truck Series. My name is Little Ramble alongside Austin Edstrom, bringing you all the racing action from Saturday night prime time on, well, where else? Saturday nights.
That does make sense, at least a little bit.
It does. Unless you're in Australia, then it's Sunday night. Well, not even Sunday night, Sunday afternoon.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Time zones are weird. Pace trucks off, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. 4 laps shy of halfway as we close out caution number 8.
Vernon Garrig with a good jump on the outside, but every time we've seen him in 2nd place on these restarts, he goes way high through 1 and 2, just kind of settling for the 2nd place position, not getting stuck in anything side by side. But all these guys back here, a lot of guys on newer tires trying to come through the field. challenge some of these guys that are on the older tires, trying to get up as far as they can before the next caution flag comes out.
Holy cow, I mean, this is just pure insanity deeper in the field here as all of these guys are scrambling in the turn numbers 3 and 4, trying to get something working with them here as we head down the pit straight. Michael Dow fighting the inside lane. He is one of the only drivers right now that is trying to do that. He is getting freight trained by that outside line.
Yeah, Zane Bailey now going around the outside, but you got to think a lot of these guys on the older tires, they're just trying to not be a roadblock in the middle of the track that somebody's going to run over, right? It's as much about just being predictable, holding the line, and not, you know, kind of putting yourself in a bad position whenever you get kind of stuck back there towards the back half of the guys that didn't take tires under a restart. You just know you're going to get swallowed up quick.
Oh, contact there between Holiday and Flippin as they come around through turn numbers 1 and 2. Contact happened in the middle of the front straightaway. We're over halfway now, by the way. 99 laps to go.
Aaron Raymond still up in the race lead as they're side by side further back. Paul Witt picking up a position. Zane Bailey and Anna Sogak going around the outside of some guys on older tires as well through 3 and 4. Both these guys trying to get up as fast as they can so that they can somehow challenge Raymond while they got the tire advantage.
And that tire advantage does not last long at a track like Bristol. You got to make short work of those tires or you're going to be in for a world of hurt. Problems for Holiday. He is around to the back straightaway. No caution flag yet. He's going to reverse onto the racetrack. Can he get going before the leaders come around? Yes, he will, and we'll stay green. Credit
to Holiday for that. He should honestly win an award for getting that thing back going to keep us under green. That was a great job getting it reversed in just enough time to be able to keep his car on the racetrack without having to take a tow while still keeping this thing under green. On the top of turn 2, just getting loose, just losing the back end. Coming out of turn number 2, we've seen it time and time again tonight. Just seems like these trucks are just set up crazy loose tonight.
And critically, we're not running the iRacing baseline. They got a custom setup in just for this race because the baseline was so loose. So shockingly, it could be worse.
What do you think? Thank God we're not on the baseline. If this is the updated setup to make it less loose, I couldn't imagine what the baseline was. I mean, my goodness, we would not be making any headway whatsoever if it was really that bad. But we're starting to see, you know, most of the guys up in the top 10 able to hang on to their trucks, able to, you know, put on some good racing up here as they're trying to come through the field on the newer tires. Oh, and the yellow flag out again, right in front of Raymond. We got a car upside down the back straightaway.
That is Anthony Lane, the number 82 entry, up on his side. Tell us your secrets, Anthony. What the heck happened to you?
And that was at the end of the back straightaway. He's already wrecking coming down into turn number 1. Half saves it. Washes up the racetrack, into the marbles at the very top. Back in, continuing to step around. Hits it with a door? Down on the inside. How in the world does this thing get upside down? I mean, oh my goodness.
Or that.
Oh.
That'll work too, I guess.
Well, iRacing physics at its best right there. What in the world, Anthony Lane? How in the world have you found out? I guess you can get your truck stuck in the wall for a split second. It almost looked like it wanted to freeze frame.
It didn't even get stuck in the wall. He clipped through the ground, it looked like.
Well, right at first, as soon as he hits the outside wall with the nose, it kind of clips a little bit. And then, yeah, I don't know what in the world that second impact was.
It wasn't even an impact.
There was a ghost car. It looks like there was a ghost car that hit him while he was halfway upside down. I mean, that was a weird one.
We saw from the head-on shot, nobody came off and turned forward and blinked out. That thing just went.
Back down on all 4 wheels. Unfortunately, you hit your nose in the inside or the outside wall like that, and kind of have it launch the way it did. The engine's going to blow every time. It's almost like the engine hits the wall itself rather than the front bumper. A little bit of the internet that we see, or internet issues that we see sometimes, and that's all I can really think it is. Kind of the client side thinking the car's at a different spot than the internet side. Like, he didn't get hit, but the car acted like it got hit.
Yeah. Up and over. What a weird wreck. I've seen a lot of weird wrecks at Bristol over the last year or so. I mean, remember how many crashes we had at Bristol? I think there was about 4 or 5 crashes last year at Bristol where we saw cars go up and over. 2 of them were in the same race.
Yeah, we had a big 15-car pileup in high tide a couple months ago as well. I mean, it's been Bristol's been very unforgiving over the last year or so here on Green Flag TV. Maybe we need to stop broadcasting Bristol. It's bad. I literally just picked Bristol for the beer league broadcast race, and I just said maybe we should stop broadcasting Bristol. I don't know. I guess we'll see again in about a week and a half if road course cars are any better around here than stock cars.
Oh, I doubt it. The AI can't even get around here, the BMW M2s. I've tried.
Oh, no.
They'll crash like every 15 laps.
I'm beginning to rethink my decisions.
Don't. It's the beer league. Well, pace trunks off. We'll go at it again. Green flag up in the air. End of caution number 9.
Raymond down to 1, going to get clear. Bailey did not have a good entry there. Second row on the outside. Anna Sogak looking to the inside of Raymond as we come down to turn 3. This might be his best opportunity. He's got a little bit more tires than Raymond. Oh, no! 35 getting sent spinning through the middle of 3 and 4. No yellow flag's going to come out. Everybody somehow keeps that thing straight. I cannot believe the 35 did not go around worse than he did. Great job from Hales hanging on.
Yeah, Bill Hales will save the truck. While everyone else slicing and dicing through the high banks of Bristol. Good run from Raymond, and Sogak, though, is all over him, trying to find a way through.
Still looking down to the inside as we head down into turn 1, but we've seen this time and time again with the 6 and the 13 up front without any lap traffic. It's just so hard to pass, especially whenever it's Aaron Raymond up there, given the defensive masterclass. Anna Sogak just cannot get any further forward than the door number.
Bill Hales has come down to pit road. We got problems again. A lot of smoke up there in turn numbers 1 and 2, but no sign of what caused it. Potentially more trouble, though, from Bill Hales, as everyone else is getting in line.
Hales decided to call it quits after this one. Obviously, the back end just, those tires overheated like crazy from the last one. He ends up coming down pit road there, calls it quits after a pretty eventful night so far in this one. But still up towards the lead. Anna Sogak not letting Raymond get away.
Further down the field, Wilbers, oh, look out! One truck sideways down. That was Mason Flipper that has gone hard into the inside wall.
Yeah, and Flippin didn't sound too happy on the radio. It sounded like he said something. I don't know if there was actually contact coming out of turn number 4. Watching it back on my end. I thought he said, really? With a big question mark at the end of it, but I'm watching a different angle right now, and he didn't get hit. Yeah, he didn't get hit. So maybe it was a sorry and I misheard, but it sounded like he was upset with somebody.
Yeah, one more look. Wonder if he thinks maybe he got run over after he started to go around. We got a little bit of help towards the wall, but he was going around no matter what there.
Yeah, there was nothing anybody else around him could do. Just lost the back end all on his own. Coming down through 3 and 4, though. Anna Sogak continuing to try to fight to the inside of Aaron Raymond, but again, just cannot get any type of momentum coming off of the corner to actually complete the run. He's just taking himself down there with no momentum. And I've said it a couple times already. You got to kind of sit behind the guy through 1 or 2 of these corners. Figure out how to get the momentum coming off so that you can dive into the next corner. Instead, Anna Sogak's just super committed to the bottom side of the racetrack and just running the bottom time and time again, and it's not giving him the run off the corner that he needs to challenge.
He's going to follow these tracks here as they come around to turn numbers 3 and 4. We're going to ride on board them for a few laps, kind of track these lines. Raymond goes high, Anna Sogak back down low. Pushes right to the wall out of turn number 2, dives it into 3, and he's going to try to go for the middle line, maybe try to dive at the corner off, see if he can get a run going.
I don't like the lines he's running. Through 1 and 2, it's okay. You can get a pretty good run through the middle of the corner. The corner's so wide, it makes it work. But through 3 and 4, you got to sit right in his tire tracks. You got to get on his back bumper. He's going to get side by side here, but then he's just going to go backwards as soon as they get to the straightaway. Or he's going to hip check him coming off. I mean, maybe a little bit of contact could work too. That might help him out.
It'll slow him down a little bit. But the question is that going to be enough to get the job done? Doesn't look like it. Raymond continues to hang on.
Yeah, he's got to sit in the tire tracks through 3 and 4 and just try to cut under. He's got a little bit newer tires. Use those tires to cut under him with the forward momentum so that you can get up to his door number, get up to his front tire by the time you get down into 1. If you're this far back, watch, he's going to fall all the way back to the rear tire before they come down to the turn number 1. And then there's just nothing you can do. You've got to somehow get up to the front tire by the time you get down to 1 to actually make the move on the bottom.
Coming around. We'll start lap 130, 70 to go at the line. So the laps are starting to kind of get away from us here. And Sogak's got time, but he's running out of it. And if this goes green, I mean, those laps, they're not going to last very long.
Absolutely not. As soon as we actually run completely green, the laps are just going to completely tick by. The last 20 laps or so have been under the green flag conditions, and it's only taken a handful of minutes.
Oh, trouble!
Somebody right in front of the leaders just blew an engine. The 61 going off the bottom side of the racetrack, and Sogak had to get checked up for it.
Good job getting around that, though. That was Flippin that had the problem coming off of turn numbers 3 and 4. This is on board of Sogak. You can see Flippin up the road, losing time.
Yeah, and we'll see it next time they actually come around. Sogak will be on the bottom side of Aaron Raymond, coming through 3 and 4, and all of a sudden the 61 just explodes in the center of the corner.
Right there, he loses power. Bit of a slide from the 13 as well, but a great reaction to keep out of the wreck.
Still side by side for the lead. Now, the one thing that Sogak staying to the inside of Raymond all these laps is going to do is wear out those tires of the number 6, right? They're a little bit older than Sogak's, and so if he can stay to his inside and just continue to push the 6 harder than the 6 wants to drive, then maybe potentially Sogak will be able to pass eventually as they're finally even coming down into turn number 3. Sogak trying to make it work, but really the guys that are going to benefit from this are Zane Bailey and Jim Duda. They're on newer tires, but they've been single file this whole time, so you got to think they've been saving them a little bit better than the 2 in front.
Zane Bailey right now rubbing his hands like a fruit fly. He is just loving what he's seeing in front of him here. As the Skittles Toyota Tundra tries to fend off the Justin's paint machine down low. And finally, now Zane Bailey going to go on offense here. Tries to get around Sogak. But Sogak tries to get the power back to go for the number 1 spot.
Zane Bailey continuing his charge up here in the 3rd place position. It ends up being a 4-car battle now for the race lead as the front 2 still side by side. Sogak not willing to go down easily, but he is letting Bailey ever so slightly creep his nose in there. Still a hole for Sogak if he chooses to take it for now, but just not able to get that headway that he needs off the exit of the corner. It's just not been enough for the driver of the 13.
John Holiday comes down to pit road as the driver of the number 9 could not go the distance on fuel to the end. Oh, Sogak sends it in! Muscles Raymond up the track. Raymond's into the fence. Bailey thinking about 3 wide for the lead. And Sogak takes over the point, but he did it with force.
I was about to say, that's one way to do it. He just drove in there like Aaron Raymond wasn't there, finally taking the race lead away. Oh, and then the yellow flag is finally going to come out.
That's going to change
Raymond's
a
not
lot.
happy.
Next to the pace truck leaving its own tire tracks. Rootsmacher the cause with a caution. Careful,
That's
boys.
just short track racing. That's just short track racing.
That's always the question, right? You can go to work however long you want, but how long before you lose patience?
I mean, I guess the answer's about 30 laps to the inside of somebody. That's whenever the patience runs out. We just figured that out.
Oh, boy. Oh, that got dicey. Zane
Now
Bailey,
it's all about
I
who
think.
comes out of pit road first.
Did you see as well, by the way, when they made contact, Zane Bailey backed off by about a truck length or so?
I don't blame him. I don't blame him one bit. Probably a smart call from 20. You never know. If he puts his nose in there, maybe that ends up causing the incident. And here, Sogak being in the first pit stall, it's the biggest advantage of Bristol than it is at any other track.
But
right? You see those green cones.
Bailey's jumped Raymond out of pit road there.
Is that beneficial or not, though? Because you get to start on the outside now, and the outside is not good. Outside is not good.
It's beneficial for Raymond. He can give him a shot to the shorts now entering turn 1.
Well, yeah, now Zane Bailey's going to be an innocent bystander after Sogak goes spinning to the outside of the corner.
So Wilbers is already into the wall, and then Grootsmacher just kind of got run over from behind, and that's what causes our latest yellow flag.
Well, and actually, none of these guys are going to start up on the top either that came down pit road. We've got, or at the top of the field, we've got 3 people that look like stayed out.
Yeah, Wilbers just caught the wall. Nowhere really for Grootsmacher to go as he spun up the track, and, well, that was that. Pretty cut and dry yellow right there.
That was our longest green flag run of the night. Do you think we get another one like that?
God, no. Absolutely
We only got 17
not.
cars left on the lead lap. It's definitely more possible now than it has been the whole night.
Maybe.
You have little faith.
You know how these Bristol races go. Why? You're usually the one that doesn't have any faith.
You're absolutely, well, whenever I said that, I literally was thinking in my mind, this is exactly something that Nolan has said to me in the past. So, yeah, I'd have to agree with you. But, I mean, we're getting to the end of this. Now we got 3 guys on older tires up the front, but I don't know. I think we might get something a little surprising here. Maybe not this restart, maybe the next one.
We still got just over a quarter of this race left. That's a lot of laps. And a lot can happen during that. Gilmore, Dow, Buwalda did not come down to pit road. They're on 30 to 40 lap older tires. And the green flag is out once again.
Big stack up from the outside line, too. That's going to hurt Anasogak and Raymond ever so slightly. Likely to get the run coming off of the corner, but not really too many places for them to go. Zane Bailey there on the inside, trying to figure out a way by on the newer tires. He's going to make it 3 wide through 3 and 4. Zane Bailey scoots through to second.
That's not going to last at all. Raymond immediately cuts down low. He sees daylight. Dow put into the wall, and they're forced 3 wide coming out of turn number 2. We're going to double it back out, but now Anasogak trying to get back there. Raymond, they're crashing big time up in turn number 4. Huge hit into the wall for Campbell, and he is done.
Yeah, I said not that restart, but maybe the next one. So now I have faith. Now I have faith.
Sure.
I do. The faith,
Doing
the
some
faith
casual
meter.
goalpost movements here.
No. I moved the goalposts during the last caution. All right. I said not this restart, but the next.
Goalpost
So
move is
I called
still
it.
a goalpost.
No.
It doesn't matter how long ago you
moved the
it.
post before it was official.
Uh-huh.
The rain had not come. It was not halfway for the race yet, so it was well, it was definitely halfway. But you know what I mean.
Campbell just ran Dow over to kick this one off. I'm going to be honest.
Again, that's the old tires though of Dow with the new tires coming behind them. Not enough patience shown though. Definitely not enough patience in the 3.
Hard lick into the wall for Campbell on that one as well. Yikes. Jeez, I mean, he tanked that wall.
The way the lineup is now, I think we're set up for just about max mayhem, right? Zane Bailey starting second, probably the cleanest driver in the series that has pretty decent speed, right? I'll give Zane Bailey that crown. He's got good speed. Well, I would say his speed is probably like a B+, A- rating, but he's got A+ safety. He is probably the cleanest driver in the field up in second. So I like where Zane Bailey's sitting because up in the lead with his cleanliness, I think that's going to be pretty nice because the car in front of him has older tires. He should get by relatively quick. And then it's Jim Duda, Brennan Gregg, Jordan Jung, and then Aaron Raymond with Justin Anasogak. We've seen Raymond and Anasogak get together once already, so Raymond's not super happy with Justin. And they've got to get past Jim Duda, who is not happy with Aaron Raymond either. So I think Zane Bailey is, if he has a good restart, this very well could be Zane Bailey's race to lose at this point. But I'm really worried about what will eventually be second on back. The battle between what I expect to be Duda, Raymond, and Anasogak. Brennan Gregg could definitely put himself in there as well. He's been very consistent and clean all night. But I'm really worried about seeing the 053, the 6, and the 13 coming together or coming to blows at some point. But look at Zane Bailey there on the outside. He's done everything he needs to tonight so far, and he's got himself in a chance, with a really good chance to win this race at this point.
If Bailey can pull this one out, it would be his 2nd win of the season. The first one came at Atlanta Motor Speedway when he was pushed to the win by one Paul Witt. And now Jeff Gilmore, the only driver that stands between him and being able to run away. With 30 lap fresher tires, in theory, it should be a moot point. Green flag is back in the air.
Gilmore didn't get through the gear quite as good as Bailey there through the middle of the straightaway, and Bailey is just going to rip around his outside. And you can tell that 57 is just a roadblock on the bottom now as Duda's going to be able to get by, but crucially, Raymond was able to get by Duda.
Oh, and now near contact with him and Brennan Gregg as they get down in the turn numbers 1 and 2, down to the back straightaway in the final quarter of the race. Gregg trying to keep him at bay and will slow it down again as the caution flag comes out, this time again for Jernigan.
Okay, I'm not moving the goalpost anymore. That was, yeah, but it didn't come to fruition. It didn't. Look, I moved them before I made the contest official. I will not move them afterwards. Unfortunately, the second one did not go much better than the first.
Contest?
Just way off the pace at the back. What in the world? What happened back here all by themselves? Oh,
Oh, wow.
a little bit further up.
That's Corey Bowden, though, and maybe just reactionary there for Jernigan? No, just lasted by himself.
Same thing we've seen time and time again. You carry too much speed down to the entry of one, the back end just steps out. I'm saying this off of experience. I've jumped into practice relatively recently. You're just driving deep into the corner, and the back end never settles, never sticks. Unfortunately, that's what we just saw again with Bodeno. And then to your point, I think the 22 was just reacting, getting on the brakes because he saw so much smoke in front, locked it down. That's pretty good avoidance right there.
That was Noah Swaffer, the Raymond Motorsports driver. Got a little crossed up in the middle of 3 and 4, and then comes along to this mess up here and just misses it.
Holy cow.
Started to really slow it down before you realize how close you actually come to getting taken out.
Yeah, you could barely fit a piece of paper between those two whenever they ended up coming off of turn number 2. And it was weird because Bodeno's coming down the racetrack at a decent speed, but as soon as the banking goes away, the front end hit the apron, and all of a sudden the car stopped moving down and just kind of stayed in the same lane all of a sudden. But ultimately, good job from the car behind, being able to avoid that. But getting ready for another restart. I think this is the first time we've seen somebody pick the outside on one of the restarts. Zane Bailey staying high.
I think for the rest of this race, this is going to be a very stop-start type of race. I mean, we've seen how these ones go before, right? You can get a long green flag run in the middle of these short track races, but the second you get to this final quarter, if you get a caution, you're not getting that long green flag run back.
Hope you're wrong. I mean, we've only got 17
too,
cars
but
left on the lead lap. Come on, we can keep her nice and straight.
I mean,
It's basically an A-fix at this point.
Well, okay, you say that. We've still got over 20 on the racetrack as a total. And, I mean, I speak from trends and experiences of well over, 400 races at this point that we've, well over 300 or 400 at this point that we've called on Green Flag TV. Green Flag's back in the air.
Bailey on the outside, not a great jump, and Raymond on the bottom with a shorter distance around 1 and 2. More than likely going to get the run coming out of the corner. It's just, can Zane Bailey hang on to the right rear? He's going to be able to. Decent run coming down towards turn number 3. Bailey firing it into the top. Raymond just about getting clear. He's going to clear him on the bottom.
Aaron Raymond clears for the lead. Now the big question is, does anyone have an answer for it? Bailey, Greg, and Sogak. We'll get back to that in a minute. What was that about,
I don't have faith. I don't have faith. I don't have faith. I don't have faith.
I'm telling you, the trends are never wrong.
I wouldn't say that. The trends can be wrong. I've seen the trends get bucked every now and again. Typically, it's whenever, typically whatever I do, the opposite of what I need to happen happens. And there's 2 cars doing exactly what we saw in the last one. I've said time and time again, you just drive it in too deep into one, the back end steps out. And well, I guess whenever you come to the last quarter of the races, you're going to be driving it in deeper than you have all night. And well, looks like the 16 and the 17 both just drove it in too deep.
Slaughter may have checked up reactionary for all of that. And well, puts under the caution once again for now the 13th time tonight. And we'll be back in a moment with the restart once again on Green Flag TV. Grootsmacher with the Lucky Dog. Getting set to return to Green Flag Racing with under 40 laps to go on Green Flag TV for the Flat Out 200 at Bristol Motor Speedway. Tomorrow night, 170 laps around America's home for motorsports with the American Sim Race will be presented by Purple Haze Autosports for round number 2. Scott Rankin and I in the booth to bring you all of action from round number 2 of the Sunday Night Cup Series. The High Time Race League kicks off the round of 8 for the playoffs at New Hampshire Motor Speedway on Monday. Well, Austin Pacer will be in this time by. Take us to it.
Yep, coming up to the restart zone for what feels like the 80th time tonight. Raymond on the outside. Going to get a pretty decent restart, but Zane Bailey on the bottom gets just as good as him coming through 1 and 2. Zane Bailey now stuck on the bottom. Can he get a good run? Can he clear Raymond? No, not quite. Coming towards the back straightaway, down to turn number 3. Looks like Raymond's going to get the momentum on the top, but there's a spinner further back.
Oh boy.
Couple cars hard into the outside wall, and here comes another yellow.
Corey Bodeno and Joshua Heimbach bring out the latest wreck. And Bodeno's race has gone downhill quick this afternoon.
I feel bad for Corey. I feel like half of these have not even been his fault. He's just getting caught up in other people's mess. Now, I know the one we saw just a moment ago, or 2 cautions ago, he ended up spinning down to 1 by himself, but I feel like a lot of this has been other people kind of collecting him in it. Here, we're watching the 41 come down the racetrack. Honestly, kind of squeezed the 72 a little bit too heavy down into turn number 3 and going off the nose. And then Bodeno ends up getting the worst of it.
Heavy hit into the wall for the 34 entry, and boy, Nicholas Braz in the 14 just snuck through.
We were 5 wide there for a second with 1 car backwards. That's pretty impressive.
Does it count as 5 wide if one is backwards?
Yes, they're still 5 wide. It's just not super clean. 5 wide, right there. See, that's 5 wide.
It's gonna be on board with Braz in the 14. Watch this.
I don't know, I've said it multiple times.
Yeesh.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
That was lucky to draw right there from Bodeno sliding down the racetrack more than anything.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. But he did a good job placing his truck where it needed to be, all things considered. But man, I know I've said it time and time again tonight, and you know, towards the end of these races, you expect it to become more take and less give. But man, the whole night has just been, I'm gonna take everything from you. I'm gonna go back in time and kill your mother, kind of stuff, right? Like you're just taking, not giving. That was Reverse Flash, right? I've been watching that CW show, so that's what's been stuck in my head. But
okay, you're not wrong. Yeah, Reverse Flash. Are we talking the? Was it on HBO or is it?
CW. It's on Netflix now.
Is it? Oh yeah, that show. Yeah, I remember. I watched that a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah, I had never watched it, but
Are they still making episodes, or is that show done now?
Yeah, I think it ended a couple years, like 2 years ago or something like that.
I stopped watching after the season or so.
That's what I'm on right now.
Oh,
I'm on the 5th season. I've heard it sucks after that, so I'm kind of upset.
Yeah, no, that was yeah. I don't have promising words for that. That's why I stopped watching it.
yeah. So I'm a little worried. I think I'm gonna have to find a new show to watch after this season. But
it's
hey,
kind of the rule of thumb, right? I mean, like every TV shows, they're good for like the first 4 or 5 seasons. After that, it kind of goes downhill. It's kind of overstayed its welcome.
It's kind of rare that one goes better or longer than that. I mean, like The Office was good for like 7 seasons, but then as soon as Michael Scott left, it's like, eh.
And then you just have the Family Guy and The Simpsons that are going on like what, 30 plus now?
Oh my goodness. Family Guy's only good in TikTok form, and I've never watched The Simpsons, so I can't really say anything on that.
They're good white noise shows, I find. Put them on when I needed just something to the background. Leaf flies out this time, 5 with 32 to go.
Yeah, Raymond back to the bottom. Didn't like the top from the last restart, it seemed. So he's going to be choosing the bottom this time. Going to easily clear down into turn number 1. So Raymond clear into the race lead. Bailey still able to cycle through into second. Anna Sogak finally getting himself back up into the top 3. He's been the main challenger of Raymond all night long. Seems to be the only guy that can actually get to Raymond's inside all night whenever Raymond's been in the lead. Just hasn't had the runs towards the end of this race to actually mount a challenge.
Greg trying to find his way up to the number 3 spot. Zane Bailey trying to fend him off. 30 to go, right on the dot. Aaron Raymond pulling clear now by almost 2/10. Now a quarter of a second for the race lead. And Greg, can he secure second from Bailey? Yes, he'll slide across the nose. Oh, sideways and hangs on.
I thought Brennan Gregg was wrecking in front of the field. He's still in the fence. Oh, he's taking out Bailey with him. The back end never really settled after that issue out of turn number 4, and now Bailey's going to bleed positions with Brennan Gregg. The 2 guys running second and third, now all the way back to 6th and 7th after the restart.
That is a hard whack to the wall, and that has bought Aaron Raymond a lot of breathing space. Jordan Jung now within 0.4 of a second, but I don't know. Oh, man, now Gregg's around again off of 4, and that spin actually going to force him into pit road. So day over for the 27 car.
Was he coming down pit road already and just had the back end step out, or?
When he was loose, he was near the outside wall. I don't think that was intentional at all.
Yeah, you're right. I just watched the back. He was way middle of the racetrack. Definitely just came to pit road out of reaction from what happened. But he did Oh, am I hearing more wrecking down on the
You
racetrack
are. Michael
right now?
Dow's just got around. Oh, that's a dangerous spot to be stopped as well. Right up. And he's going to take the wise choice to take the tow.
25 laps to go. Can't have too many more cautions at this point, right?
Why did you say that?
Maybe I like mayhem. Maybe I like chaos.
We're on caution 14, brother.
Maybe I like ruckus.
We're on caution 14.
I think we're on more than that at this point.
We have a counter.
This might be 16. This might be 6. I know, but like 3 cautions ago, I saw it say 13th caution. Your counter might be broken.
And into the inside wall goes Dow. I mean, very cut and dry incident there, frankly. Oh, boy. You already saw a couple trucks having to go evasive. I don't think Edward is going to hit him. I think they kind of saw him, but all the same.
15th. It says 15th.
So we're both wrong.
Split the difference. Yeah, split the difference.
All right, then we'll call it the draw.
Yeah, so we were equally wrong. Wait, were you 13 or 14? Did you say 13 or 14?
No, I said 14. I knew we weren't at 13.
Okay.
I knew we were higher than that.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. And now if we were playing The Price is Right, I would have lost because I would have busted.
So what you're saying is I win on a technicality. I'll take that.
No, because we're not playing The Price is Right.
Wins
We were
on
just both equally wrong.
technicalities are the best
No,
wins.
we weren't we're not playing technicalities here. We were both one off.
Says who? You moved the goalposts already once tonight.
Hey! Wayne, which one of us is going to be closer by the end of the night? Do you expect us to be closer to 14 or 16 cautions by the end of the night? I'm pretty sure my pick probably looks a little bit better.
I'm going to laugh if we go green to the end.
If we go green the rest of the way, then you can win. Then you can absolutely win if we go green the rest of the way. You can have that.
Well, we're not betting on how many cautions we got left, though.
I was preemptively reacting to the cautions that I foresee in my head. That's why I thought we were under 16.
There's a lot of possibilities for that.
We're going to wreck on that with 17 to go, guaranteed.
We had 33 trucks start this race, only 19 remain on the racetrack, 14 of which are on the lead lap.
Attrition. Definitely a war of attrition.
And only 24 made it
so
halfway.
much.
So we had 10 of them knocked out in just the first half.
Suppose we haven't seen any, like, race-winning contenders knocked out, right? Raymond, Anasogak, Duda, Witt. Yeah.
Well, you know what they say, cross of elimination, it's bound to happen eventually. Green flag's up in the air. Not that I can try on either. Remember Anasogak and Raymond, they got together, and now they're 99! All sorts of sideways, looking for 3 for the lead, but Raymond pulls clear of them both.
Oh, I thought Anasogak was going to get there, maybe give another bumper to Raymond, try to move him up the racetrack. Couldn't quite get clear to give the opportunity. There, he's going to clear himself in front of Jung. Coming down the back straightaway, Anasogak is going for it.
He can taste victory. He can smell it. It's right there, but Highball goes around in turn number 4. They're going to recover, so we stay green. They'll keep eyes on the leaders as the 6 and 13 continue to scrap it out side by side with less than 20 to go.
It's so hard for Anasogak to make this pass done. If we had a long run to where the tires came into play, maybe, just maybe, he could make it work. But here, just in these little short runs, it's so tough to be able to get more grip than the guy on the outside, more momentum coming off the corner. Anasogak just having to settle into the second place position, see if he can cool off those tires, give it one more run towards the end of this thing.
Anasogak taking your advice, right? Trying to follow the tracks, trying to see if he can run him down and open up a gap. We're coming to 15 to go this time by. We're side by side with Holiday and Bawala deeper in the field, and this is what happened to Highball.
Anasogak just washed Jung up the racetrack. Jung spinning off of turn number 4. The yellow flag's back out as Jung has just killed the inside wall.
So that was the incident with Highball, and then this is what happened to Jung just moments ago.
Anasogak entered really low. Maybe had an issue out of 2. You can see he's just crazy sideways in the middle of the corner. Ran up the racetrack, got into Jung, and Jung just couldn't save it from there. Obviously, the contact to the left front, really weird contact. It's just going to send you spinning. He ends up hitting the inside wall pretty good with the right rear. So Jung's going to have to go back to the very back of the line here for this restart. Hopefully he's got an extra set of tires so that he has a chance, but ends up being a tough break, and Anna Sogak's going to come down pit road, take tires too.
That might spell the end of any kind of offensive for Aaron Raymond. I mean, these two guys have really been the only ones that have been able to really get up there and fight with him. Oh boy, he got wicked loose there in turn 2.
Well, guess who's in second now for the restart?
Oh God, I just looked at my timing screen.
It was written in the stars.
It's gonna be a spicy finish here. Look at where Jim Duda finds himself.
Oh no. If Raymond was pissed off about Duda rolling the start beforehand, I can't wait to see turn 1 on this one. I'm telling you. I'm definitely got my microphone on to where I can hear the voice chat, because if they end up being side by side into one, if Duda has any type of overlap with Raymond coming down into one, it's going to be a dogfight.
And Duda's going to be looking for an advantage that he can get, because he knows he needs to get that. I mean, Raymond's been so good on defense. If Raymond gets clear, I'm not confident that Duda can get him back unless he puts the bumper to him.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean,
either.
granted, he's done that before, so he's not afraid to do it.
Which is why I really think Duda also, if he's side by side going into one like we saw earlier, and Raymond washes him up the racetrack, I don't think Duda is going to be giving him any reprieve like he did earlier, right? He's going to hold that line, and Raymond's going to eat the outside wall if he can hang on to the right rear coming down into one. I don't know. I'm nervous about this start, but hey, how about our points leader Paul Witt looking to get his fifth top 5 of the season, and it could be his first win given the fact that the two in front of him don't like each other very much.
You know, Paul Witt originally was not going to be racing tonight. He initially had other commitments that he had to take to this afternoon, but he messaged me earlier today saying, yep, I'm going to be here trying to keep that top 5 streak alive. I mean, top 5s in 5 races. That's not nothing. Now, he said last week, you know, he was really much downplaying his achievements. He was saying, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of luck, but I mean, top 5 in 4 races, 4 very different tracks. It's not nothing, especially when you get one here as well.
I'd have to agree 100%. And also, consistency wins championships. If he finishes top 5 the whole season, I'd imagine he'd win the championship, even if he doesn't win a race.
Well, he's won 2, so.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Race car is off. Green flag is in the air. 10 laps to go.
There it is. Side by side. Down to the one. Well, he picked the bottom pretty good. He didn't launch him up the racetrack. I think that was a smarter decision from Raymond, because I think he was going to get old right rear down into the corner. If he had, Duda settling into second place. Oh no! Oh my goodness! Somebody has just died in turn 4. Holy cow!
That is Michael Campbell that's gone around. He's against the inside wall. No caution as of yet. We'll keep this green, and we'll look at what happens there. Either if we get a crash or after the checker flag. But for now, Raymond trying to hang on against Duda.
Yeah, Raymond coming out of turn number 2. I think he's just got a little bit too much speed for these guys. Zane Bailey doing a good job recovering after his little issue that he had about 20 laps ago. Fell back to 7th place. He's gotten himself back up to 4th. Side-by-side battle with Paul Witt for the 3rd place spot. Bailey driving in deep down into turn number 1. He's going to be able to take 3rd place away from Witt. Oh, and we got a spinner in turn 2. Here's the yellow.
And there we go. It's Holiday that has found himself facing the wrong direction. And that is going to put us danger. That might send us into overtime.
If it doesn't, it's going to be a natural green light checkered, I think.
Let's take a look first on what happened to the 72 entry. This is going to be coming off of turn number 4 on the restart lap.
I mean, he died just as hard as TikTok tried to die in January. I mean, this was massive coming out of turn number 2. I believe it was, turn 4, I believe. The 72 on the outside. Couldn't quite tell what exactly transpired. Oh, we got a bit of a tap.
Oh,
and he got a bit of a tap.
Holy cow, no kidding. He smoked the turn 4 wall. I'm shocked that wasn't a caution, to be completely frank.
And Noah Swafford did a little bit of X gaming down the front straightaway, too. He had that bit of contact. Front end started bouncing. And then John Holiday down through 1 and 2, down on the inside. Again, just drove in too deep.
Yep.
Drove in too deep, back in, steps around.
Good job.
Welcome to Bristol.
Keeping it out of the wall, keeping it out of everybody else. And then one more look. Let's get a ride on board here with the 72 entry.
Yeah, this is a big one. Oh, you had him. There we go.
Oh, boy. Yeah, it's going to kill that truck real quick. So,
and we get another Raymond Duda restart.
If this is going to be a NAC green-white checker, they have to go lights out this next time by. Otherwise, we're using one of our 2 overtime attempts.
I think we're getting the NAT. They're already doubling up. So I think that we're getting the official double up next time, right? I'd have to think. So we're going to get 3 green-white checkered attempts.
So here's my thing. I don't think this goes to overtime. This is not a NAC green-white checker. I mean, these guys usually make it at least a couple laps. I think if we're going to go green here, I don't think we're using overtime today.
But now you're the one with faith.
I'm going off of the trends.
Is it misplaced? Is it misplaced? Well, I said earlier the trends could be wrong. Trends can be wrong. So I don't know. The middle of 3 and 4. I mean, to be fair, it was the first lap of the restart. The 72 got sent to the outside wall, and we just didn't get the caution. If that plays out just a little bit differently, we very well could. But you can see Duda is laying back a little bit on Raymond on this restart.
I wonder why.
If he stays this far back, I guarantee he's going to get a roll up to the green flag. So we'll have to wait and see if the stewards like that, if they're going to be content with it. Because I guarantee you he's not going to sit side by side with Bailey the whole time. Yeah, he's already moving up to Raymond here. So maybe not quite doing the pull-up strat. We'll have to wait and see.
2 laps to go. Green flag in the air. We're underway. 1 mile of racing left. A great launch from Jim Duda up top. Raymond holds the bottom. Does he have enough to try and get the run going? No! Bailey gets the nose over the number 2 spot as he gets down to the 3 and 4. Bailey takes second. Final lap, this time by half a mile's left. Bailey gets loose. Raymond trying to hang on. Does Bailey have enough to save it in? He's on 25 lap pressure tires. He's going to have to go for the Hail Mary in 3 and 4. Bailey sends it in. Not going to be enough. Aaron Raymond will take the victory at Bristol Motor Speedway, hanging on for win number 2 of the season.
And we did have a wrecker across the start-finish line coming to the white flag. If that had happened just a moment earlier, Bailey might have been sitting in a really good position to be able to challenge on the newer tires by starting on the same lane as Raymond, but it was not to be. Aaron Raymond, another race win in his pocket.
The driver of Highgate, Vermont, going to burn it down to the front straightaway. Sensational driver, Raymond. I mean, a masterclass of defense all night long.
Yeah, Raymond did absolutely everything he could. He got moved for the lead one time, but other than that, I mean, nobody passed him cleanly for the win all night. Able to hang on for the most part, even whenever he had older tires than other guys, able to hang on to the lead. I mean, it was just a dominating performance from the driver of the 6.
As he burns it down to the front straightaway, let's take a quick look back and see what happened to Jordan Jung and Dylan Grutzmacher here as they were coming around off of turn numbers 3 and 4. Jung, he's going to get loose, collects Bawalda. Coming to the white flag, and around goes the 99. There you see Bawalda down low, and there was Grutzmacher getting into the big time with Holiday. So Wilbers and Holiday were already wrecking up there in turn number 4. Grutzmacher just kind of coming through here. I think Holiday just stamped on the throttle to try and get rolling in. Well, that's not how that works. Holiday trying to go low, and Wilbur's just trying to slam the door shut. Now, was that a wise move? Probably not.
Were there any wise moves tonight?
Yeah, a couple.
No. Well, maybe a
that
couple.
guy right there that just threaded the needle. That was a wise move.
The percentage was not very high, though.
Raymond's going to blow the motor. We'll take a rundown of what your official post-race results look like after this one. A wild showing indeed from Bristol Motor Speedway. Raymond comes home, fending off a charging Zane Bailey for the win. Jim Duda finishes in 3rd. Paul Witt was in 4th with Anna Sogak closing out the top 5. Witt keeps that top 5 streak alive with Highbon 7th, Bras in 8th, Swap in the 9th, and Bodena making his jump down to part the race control booth and get on the racetrack. He finishes in 10th.
11th was John Bawalda Jr., Dylan Wilbers in 12th, Jordan Jung 13th, John Holiday and Dylan Grutzmacher round out the top 15 with Brennan Gregg, Michael Campbell, Joshua Jernigan, Michael Dow, and Mike Campbell Jr. rounding out the top 20.
And already we're getting into drivers that have not finished this race. Only 18 finished the race at the end of the night. Mason Flippin was at 21st, along with Thomas Lane Jr., Bill Hales, Anthony Lane, Mike Allen, Aaron May, Dale Rath, Cody Witt, Zachary Mertz, Zachary Tyler, Ryan McRoberts, Corey Painter, and Tristan Newman close out the field, with Josh Berry failing to start this race tonight.